Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, a case of alleged child abuse in Gainesville lands a father in jail and his son in the hospital. It's also sparking a wider conversation about corporal punishment. Details of what happened to the 15-year-old are very disturbing, but we mention them because our crime and safety analyst says there's a line between disciplining a child and abusing a child.
As News4JAX reporter Eric Avanier reports, we're not identifying the father by name to protect the identity of his son, whom police have identified as a victim of child abuse.
Gainesville police and paramedics say they were called to this Walgreens after a naked 15-year-old boy ran into the store begging for help.
I came right in front of a young man, buck naked, no clothes, and I was stunned, and I just tried to, he was saying that, hide me.
According to police, the boy was bleeding so badly that paramedics had to use 2 tourniquets on him to stop the bleeding before taking him to the hospital.
The tissue that we were about to purchase wasn't even enough tissue to clean up the blood that I saw, because there was a lot of bloodshed.
Police say the boy had bruises all over his body that appeared to be consistent with being beaten with a belt. They learned the boy jumped out of a 3rd-floor window at this apartment complex to get away from his father, who was later arrested and charged with child abuse. The father reportedly told police he ordered his son to strip naked and proceeded to strike him at least 30 times with a leather belt, all because his son did not do his chores and rolled his eyes at him when he was questioned by his father.
With 30 years of doing this, I can tell you that I've seen some of the most horrible child abuse cases come across my desk.
News4JAX crime and safety analyst Tom Hackney is a retired JSO director of investigations. He says parents administering corporal punishment may not realize their actions have jumped from legal to illegal.
At what point does this go from being something legal to illegal?
Eric, it's a really gray area, but the Florida statutes are pretty clear on when it turns from that. So ultimately, you can't leave injuries on a child in the act of corporal punishment.
In other words, a parent can legally spank a child, but when the spanking turns into a beating that leaves a child physically and mentally bruised, that parent has legally crossed the line. Hackney also says child abuse during the acts of corporal punishment is a generational cycle, meaning parents who beat their kids were likely beaten by their parents.
Is it safe to say that there was a time when you really didn't get in trouble for whipping a kid with a belt or a switch or an extension cord?
Yes, that is very true, because through the years it has become less acceptable in society, but also in the law. The law has evolved to the point that it is more interested in protecting the child because of these excessive things that have happened. And in this case that we're talking about here today, it's clearly something that is way over the line.
Hackney says disciplining your child should be about changing your child's bad behavior. He says if you're using corporal punishment, think about how far you go, because there is a point where you can go too far, and that is when you break the law. Now, coming up at 11, a deeper look into what happened to the 15-year-old and why it could be considered both a generational issue as well as a cultural issue. And I can tell you, I remember whippings when I was a kid. In fact, if you had to go by today's standards, my parents would be thrown under the jail for some of the whippings that I got as a kid.
And you and I were talking about this earlier. I went through the same thing, but that's the way that you were disciplined. And welts, like the shape of the belt, and you didn't say anything to anyone. It wasn't something you reported. It just happened that way. You got spanked too.
And I think it's important to remember, no matter where you fall on, should there or shouldn't there be corporal punishment, if you're going to administer it, a mom and a dad, you can't do it when you're angry. That's how it gets out of hand. That's where it goes too far. It's got to be something where you take the emotion out of it, which is tough to do. Yeah. Eric, thank you.
Thank you.
Our News4JAX insiders felt pretty strongly about this topic, and we've received so many differing responses. Carol Combs says corporal punishment, when necessary, a biblical principle that demonstrates a parent's love for their child. It is actually abuse and neglect when parents don't apply this principle in times of direct disobedience after teaching and training have been applied. Failure to use a tool properly falls on the parent whose hands it's in, and that parent should be held accountable for their choice of abusing the tool. Meanwhile, Carmen Lentini wrote, any sort of corporal punishment indicates that lack of knowledge necessary to lead and give direction to adolescent child or teen. The use of violence only increases rebellion with escalating negative behavior. The lack of involvement is what is the beginning of problems when young adults or children are trying to find answers and parents lack involvement.